Greetings everyone, this is Connor from Dagora TV, and in this video I'm talking about can Kingdom Come Deliverance's success impact Bethesda Game Studios' future projects. Kingdom Come Deliverance is a first-person RPG made by Warhorse Studios and is set in the 15th century Bohemia. It aims to be historically accurate and has the player maintain some really hardcore RPG elements like maintaining nourishment, making sure you get sleep so that your health doesn't degrade, and wearing the appropriate clothing to talking to NPCs so that they have the right impression of you and will actually interact with you. Kingdom Come Deliverance also has a unique cursor-based combat system which sees the player train throughout the game and get better more and more as they play, rather than the action-orientated combat that we have in the Elder Scrolls series. KCD has had an extremely successful launch with over, as we speak, 50,000 concurrent players at the time of recording, and is second on the UK sales charts, pipped only by FIFA 18. While I've really tried to give the game a go, I bought the game on Steam just a couple of days ago and sat down to be able to play it. Unfortunately, the game isn't running well at this moment in time, so you could maybe say, like a Bethesda game for instance at launch, but there's a lot of bugs in it and it crashed for me 4 times in the first hour, so I've decided to refund the game and I'm going to purchase it back again once I found out that they've got some new bug fixes in place and are actually able to get the game running successfully on hardware like mine. So, other than that though, I have heard a lot of positive things about it from players that have given the game a go. I've talked to people who have played it and people are talking a hell of a lot of positive things about it, especially people that like the Bethesda games, that like, the Fallout series and Elder Scrolls series. So there's definitely a big cross in the player bases there. But more importantly, what does the success of Kingdom Come Deliverance tell Bethesda Game Studios? First of all, it definitely shows that the core gaming market still has a major interest in first-person RPGs. On the whole, really, first-person centered RPGs have really been hard to find since really Fallout 4 came out. They were really immersive genre games and actually what my favourite complete genre as a whole, and people really want to be immersed into a world, and while this may not change something that Bethesda is currently doing, it shows that people are wanting that type of game. And really when it comes down to it, that's kind of something that really gives a publisher a big thumbs up, like the big go-ahead that, yeah, this is what people want to see. There's a reason why we're not seeing a huge amount of major studios making RTSs anymore. The genre of RTSs is something that's really degraded over the course of time. In the late 90s, you had things like, StarCraft being at the real top of the charts, whereas now, it's hard to find one that's really going to be successful. I think Grey Goo is one that's still kind of done alright. But when it comes down to first-person RPGs, there's not really a lot to shout about, really. There's been Fallout 4, Dying Light was more of an action game than it was an RPG, but other than that, it's kind of been third-person centered RPGs that have done really well. And while we've got Metro coming out at the end of the year, which could do really well for that image of first-person RPGs, it's good to see that Kingdom Come Deliverance is kind of confirmed in everyone's minds that people do like that kind of genre and people want to get immersed into a world, especially one that's so different as 15th century Bohemia. It also shows Bethesda that people want to have hardcore role-playing elements in their RPGs. It's fair to say that Bethesda's games have definitely dumbed down over the years in order to appeal to the casual crowd. And on a personal level, this has really disappointed me, as the game's having you level up a lot quicker, the games themselves getting easier, and I've just found it really a little bit more face-rolly in trying to find mods to change the experience and make them a little bit harder than what I've had to do with really in Oblivion, and you could also say Skyrim as well. Even though Skyrim does have more casual elements than Oblivion, I think that was like how I kind of saw as acceptable. And then with Fallout 4, where you're really leveling up faster than anyone's ever leveled up in a video game in their entire lives, it kind of become a little bit of a face roll to me, and I kind of found it disappointing to it. Like, I have to now, when I replay the game, I have to get mods to make it hard for myself. And KCD is a hardcore role-playing game, definitely scratching the itch of someone that's really wanting a medieval RPG for a lot of people, and especially for that hardcore RPG market. And it's definitely going in with these deep, heavy RPG elements. It's going to be really, really strange when you go into play a more simplified action RPG. Let's say Bethesda's next project comes out this year. Going from what we've got with really deep and heavy RPG elements to the more simplified action RPG can really be jarring and could disappoint some people. And when, in order for comparison for that specific market, and it's a big market, it's a lot bigger market than people will want to give credit for, it's going to disappoint some people. In my opinion, Bethesda can easily satisfy both crowds by bringing in a hardcore mode for the next game. Something that, you know, I think Fallout New Vegas did, and it worked really, really well, and it's been one of the most popular mods for Skyrim and Fallout 4. And this really would satisfy that hardcore role-playing crowd, because, you know, you'd have to do stuff like watching what you eat, you know, making sure you get sleep and stuff like that. On a personal note, that's not something that has really intrigued me. I've tried those playthroughs, and while I've enjoyed those playthroughs on Skyrim that I've done, I've never really, it's kind of been more of a distraction, a bit more of an annoyance for me than it has been something that I've really enjoyed. But that's, you know, on a personal note, a lot of people that, you know, watch my videos, a lot of people that I see on, you know, the subreddits for the Elder Scrolls and stuff, really do like that kind of thing and really want that to be in the next game. And whether it be, you know, something that they have to look to the modding community again, will be something that will be disappointing. I think we want to see an official Bethesda stamped inclusion on it that comes in along with the box, and whether that's going to be the hardest difficulty or a separate, you know, hardcore mode like we had in Fallout New Vegas, there's a way that they can do it, or just adding it into the game as a whole, you know, just making it so that you know, you have to get sleep. It would be a brave step to do, because like we said, the games have generally been getting easier, but adding hardcore RP elements is something that's not necessarily going to disappoint a big group of people. So it might turn, you know, the casuals off, which Bethesda, you know, obviously will care about, but for people that like us, I think we're more than willing to give that a go and really accept that as a new feature for the game. Finally, Kingdom Come Deliverance as well shows that people are satisfied by having a much slower progression in regards to capability in combat than what we've had in a lot of games over recent years. Kingdom Come Deliverance has the player training combat by meeting different NPCs throughout the game that teaches the player new skills like blocking, parrying and dodging. It's very much a slow and gradual experience, and from the early reports from players that have played a lot of the game, they're praising this new system of how we learn different abilities and how we generally get better at the combat. You know, a lot of them are talking about this story about how at the start of the game they're really struggling in a fist fight, you know, with one of the NPCs, and going into kind of like a training, a tutorial if you will, of the sword fight, and then really struggling with it and trying to get the turns with it. And then 20 hours in, you know, they're taking 3 bandits at once and really doing well and getting new abilities and everything they've worked on so hard to be able to get to that point. And personally, while I think the combat system in Kingdom Come Deliverance looks a bit dull and unintuitive to me, I think there's a lot that Bethesda can take and work into their next system for the next game. For instance, let's say the next one's Elder Scrolls 6. I doubt it is. We know there's 2 projects, but let's say it's Elder Scrolls 6. And let's talk about spells. So make the process of being able to use higher level spells and learn higher level spells a lot more arduous than what it was in Skyrim and Oblivion, by just finding a spellbook in the world, or, you know, buying one, you know, from a court wizard or something like that. Have the player actually properly study the schools of magic and learn them from the masters of these schools, whether it be kind of like a College of Winterhold kind of place where you're able to go to and learn different spells from, or actually have, you know, in different cities a different school based around, and you go to that wizard and you learn spells, it takes you outside, makes you learn it, and then you've got to practice the spell with him and stuff like that, and makes you get better at it. I'd much prefer to have something like that than just spending a gold to have a boost of your skills, and I actually want to be able to take part in the learning process that that character's going into. It makes me feel like an existing person in the world, rather than someone that's just, you know, kind of breaking immersion, just going up to someone and seeing a menu and, you know, seeing the school bar go up when you're paying a certain amount of money. I don't tend to like that system. And having a change in a slower progression system that KCD has, or inspired by KCD, I think would work really, really well, because it's been something that's been getting the most praise I've seen by people that have played the game and that I've talked to. And I'd really like to see something like that, a slower progression rate, take part in the next Bethesda game. So thanks a lot for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really want to play Kingdom Come Deliverance. It looks like a really intuitive game to me, you know, it looks like something that I really want to dive into and get immersed into. And while I do have issues with what I think the combat system is, and in some areas of the game could be a little slow to me, I'd really want to give it a go just to see how immersive it really is, because it looks right up my alley. Hopefully, you know, they get some bug fixes in there, and they're hopefully getting the patches out so we're able to run on my system a lot better instead of crashing 4 times in an hour, so that I'm able to play the game without any hitches and, you know, not any game-breaking bugs, you know, for instance. Let me know if you're playing Kingdom Come Deliverance, if you're enjoying the game. I really hope you are. Let me know what you like about it, if I'm making good points and everything. And I hope to really, you know, have a talk with people about Kingdom Come Deliverance in the near future. What I'll also say as well is that let me know what do you think, you know, what else Kingdom Come Deliverance does that I haven't brought up into this video that could impact Bethesda's future projects. I really want to see what you think about it. Do you think that Bethesda shouldn't take anything from Kingdom Come Deliverance? Do you think they're just completely separate games that should just stay separate from each other? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and please make sure you come back on Friday where I talk about the games that I've been playing over this past week, and then again on the Monday for the next general gaming video. The next Elder Scrolls or Bethesda style video will be out 1 week today, every Wednesday from here on out. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.